my fellow comic book collectors, it's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is part 5. I actually said last time it was part 3, but it was actually part 4. I don't know why I messed up. You lose track sometimes. So this is part 5 of this unboxing, and it should be a pretty cool one. We're going to start out with an Infinity cover, because I like Infinity covers, and it was one that I found. Strange Adventures. And you got this weird creature guy up here. What is it? The Creature from Strange Adventures. And then he's like in the comic. He repeats kind of interestingly. This guy looks like he's in really rough shape. He's reading this like pristine comic. I don't know how he managed that one. But just a really cool Infinity cover. I like Infinity covers. I have a whole box devoted to Infinity covers. This next one is an interesting one. I'm pretty sure this is the first either cameo or full appearance of Bastion. And if you watched X-Men 97, Bastion is the main antagonist for the series. So, so the Agony of Memory. So this is X-Men from the new series number 52. This is from 1996. So that's... after watching this series, I always like to get all the key books from a series that I watch. Okay, then we got a Flab. Let's see what the Flab is. Hopefully something good. Oh, this one's an interesting one, actually. Very cool book. And hard to find book. This is a really hard book to find. I'm actually got a bit of a loose case to it, which makes me a little nervous. Okay. So this is Battle Pope #1. And it is from Funk-O-Tron Comics 2000, June 2000. And it is the origin and first appearance of Battle Pope. So probably you don't know who Battle Pope is, and I wouldn't blame you for not knowing who Battle Pope is. But Battle Pope was created by Robert Kirkman and Tony Moore, cover and art. So this is actually the very first writing by Kirkham and Robert Kirkham, who is famous for the Walking Dead, the Living Dead, the Walking Dead, and basically he created this because nobody would publish his. Nobody would publish him, so he basically decided to do it as himself, and this is how he got started. And there's actually a really good video about how Robert Kirkham got his start and the troubles that he had to go through to become a popular comic book writer. And this is how he got his start in terms of him being published, and he had to self-publish. So Battle Pope. And they actually reprinted this series later on. This is his first, the first edition of it. So yeah, it's quite a hard book to find. Okay, that's that one. And then this one is like 3 slabs. I think this was a collection. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so this is a big one. Okay, so sometimes, every so often in these unboxings, I encounter a bunch of major books. And that I picked up, and this is a set of 3 really good ones that I picked up. We got Witchcraft #5, and this is just a brilliant cover. It's a Kinsler cover. Oh, sorry, no, Kelly Frias cover. And it's just a really great one. This is one of the most iconic covers from Witchcraft. Witchcraft actually has some pretty major covers. But this one I've always loved. I just love the way the girl looks. And she's running through this field of skull and bones and stuff. Skeletons, I should say. And then you got, of course, she's wearing a red dress. And it's just this really green cover. It's really interesting. I always love this cover. It's a really hard one to get. Classic painted cover from 1953. So Witchcraft #5. I've been trying to get this book for a while. Actually, I believe the first time I saw it was Jerry the Jitterbug did a restoration, or well, conservation of this book. Somebody had a copy that was really beat, and he actually did a pretty good job of bringing it back to life. So I'll show you the back as well. So yeah, just a really cool one. So that's Witchcraft #5. Next one is Journey into Fear. I always thought this was an interesting cover. It's like, this is, I believe this is Superior as well. So yeah, this is Superior Comics. And they're a Canadian publisher that would, do pre-code horror and romance. If you watch one of my earlier videos in this series, I show one of the romance covers that they did. And they would publish, they were a Canadian publisher, but despite the legality in Canada of publishing and distributing in the US, they did so anyways. And they were fairly popular. They had some pretty great titles like Journey into Fear. This is Journey into Fear #16. It's Superior Comics 1953. It's a great skull cover. Skeleton cover, I should say. But skull as well. Just I think it's really cool. So yeah, I always like that one. The mailman delivering the mail. And I guess he's been at his work too long because it's death by invitation. And this next book is one that's on my top 10 books that I wanted for 2024. And I've been trying to find this book, and I always seem to have problems getting this book. And this one I kind of overpaid. I actually have to be honest. Like, sometimes I overpay for things because I really want it, and I get frustrated that I can't get the book and can't find it. And I had to overpay for this one a bit. So it was a bit expensive, but it is a cool book. It's Weird Mysteries #6. And it's just a great, decapitated head magic cover. I always thought this was a really cool one. I'm really excited to have this, actually. Man, I've been missing out on this book so many times, you wouldn't believe. I missed out on maybe 4 or 5 copies of this book every time. Just bad luck. Either I experienced one where they had a claim sale for this book, and they had 2 copies, and they had really just the dumbest price, like really cheap. It was like insanely cheap, and I claimed it, but basically it was like 2 other people claimed it before I did, and the only reason that they got it before I did is they had like slightly better internet connection. That's all it was to it. I just didn't. My internet connection was a little slow, and I was the third claimee. So there was only 2 copies. So the first 2 guys got it, and I missed out. So, but I finally got this book, so I'm quite happy. And the cover is by Bernard Bailey, and one of the very popular artists for pre-code horror. He also did the cover art for a lot of the early Spectres in More Fun Comics. So Bernard Bailey is just a classic artist from the Golden Age. So yeah, just a really cool one. Shrunken head decapitated cover. So it's not just a decapitated cover, it's a shrunken head decapitated cover. So pretty cool. Okay, so that was pretty big. Let's see. Can we get more big ones? I don't know what's the rest here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's like all the big books. It's like all the really great ones. I was worried about this one. So this one I was like really excited to get. So this is a really crazy cover. This is Clue Comics, Volume 2, Number 2. Here, can I show you the grade? But I have to kind of zoom in on it. So what you have is like these people are in the kitchen. They're sort of chilling in the kitchen. You got the woman, she's tied up by the towel hanger. And you got this guy And he's going around ironing all the different family members, I think. He's put iron marks on this one guy. And he's put iron marks all over this guy who's on the ironing board. And he's just about to go and iron the girl. But I guess the hero comes in and shoots the iron out of his hand. It's just a really cool like crime cover. It's one of the more notorious ones for the Golden Age. And this one was done by Dan Barry. And it has Jack Kirby and Joe Simon's stories and art. And Carmen Infantino inside as well. So just a really cool, crazy, crazy pre-code horror cover. So yeah, that was an awesome one. I was quite excited to find that. I actually got it for a great deal too, so I was quite excited. Somebody had a 0.5 one, and the 0.5 one was more expensive than this 1.5. So I was like, oh, I'll grab the higher grade. Grab the higher grade. Okay, so those were pretty awesome. Oh, wow. This is like a lot of big books in this one part. Okay, this next one is another classic cover and just a really awesome cover. It's an Alex Schomburg cover. It is Speed Comics number 35. And it is one of the few bondage covers with the Black Cat. Just a really great cover. What's going on? Oh, yeah, she's going to be put into a vat of acid. And it's just such a great comic cover. So Speed, it's like a low grade, right? But it's just a great Alex Schomburg cover. Yeah, let me actually take it out of the plastic. So this one, the reason it's a 1.5 is it has a bit of water damage. I'll show you that in a second here. I'll just show you the cover. But look at the front. I mean, it's really solid, except you can see maybe in this corner a little bit of water damage right there. And then, but the back is not so good. It's got a lot of water damage on the back. And that's why it got such a low grade. But the cover, this is one of those ones where it's, you know, the main focus of the comic presents really, really well. So I'm quite happy with this one. This is Speed Comics from 1935, Alex Schomburg cover. Really great one. Nice bondage cover with the Black Cat. And this is the kind of thing I like for Alex Schomburg that he does, is he always puts these kind of labels on things. I always think that's cool. And you got the Japs in the background as well. And, you know, Captain Freedom, the Black Cat's Death Trap. So yeah, just a really cool book. So that's it. Those are the ones from this one. This was a smaller unboxing, not as much as I thought in terms of number of books, but all big books. And what did you think of those? Some of the more crazy covers from the Golden Age. Yeah, these ones are pretty cool ones. I'm really quite happy with this. The whole bunch of these were great. Okay, so this one could have been a finale. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this part, and stay tuned. There's more great stuff coming up. Actually, there's a lot more great books coming up. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Bye for now.